What's up, grinders? Here I am again with some more game about the dump truck business. All right. Topic for the day is what should you get, a dump trailer or a dump truck? All right. I know somebody has been thinking about that, wondering which way to go. What should you do? What should you do? Right. All right. Let's get into it. All right. So, which truck should you get, a dump truck or a dump trailer? Why even have this comparison, country CEO? Well, because I've seen both. Both are in my area. Guess what? I've done both, right? I had a dump trailer at one time as well. Got it to basically haul sand and gravel with from one of the big old gravel pits, and they haul sand and gravel to concrete companies, right? Ready mix concrete companies, right? And so I tried my hand at that several years ago. All right, it worked out okay, but then it kind of took a turn another way, and my driver was basically kind of starving to death, and he just told me, "Man, look, if you could get rid of this truck, I'd rather go back in the tracks. I know I'm gonna make my money there." I said, "Well, cool, no problem," and I was able to just sell the truck, right? But I had went out there and bought a Peterbilt with a aluminum made trailer, and we were hauling sand and gravel over the course of about 7, 8 months, and it's just like a lot of stuff that I tell you. Sometimes it looks good when you're on the outside looking in, and I was hearing that guys were making $800,000, $900,000 a day with these trailers, and then I went and got one and put my guy out there, and he was running, and I never saw $1,000 a day. I mean, we were lucky if we were making $600 a day, $700, which is basically back then, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, that was triaxle money. So I was making the same money with a trailer that I was making with the doggone triaxle, right? So I was like, okay. And so that's why we got out of it, right? But not to speak any kind of ill will, because I know some folks that are doing well. It just didn't work out for me, okay? All right, so let's look at that dump trailer, right? What are some pros and some cons of the dump trailer, okay? All right, great payload, man. Great payload. You're dealing with pretty much a single cab Peterbilt or KW, Freightliner, whatever, that's pulling an aluminum trailer, right? We talked in another video about an aluminum box on a dump truck, but think about it. If you got an aluminum trailer, same concept, that thing is going to be pretty light, right? And so this thing has an unbelievable payload. All right, I don't know what your empty or your total weight allowance is for a trailer, but for here in Louisiana, if you got a triaxle dump trailer, you can haul 88,000. If it's a tandem dump trailer, you can haul 80,000, I believe, 84,000, something like that. Okay. All right. So great payload, right? These guys, shoot, man, the trailer I did have, I mean, there were instances where I think I could kind of tear out at about 30 tons with that truck, right? So you talking about if the rate is a good rate, then man, you could make good money with that, right? 30 tons on one rip. All right, so great payload. A trailer, think about it, it's versatile. You can unhook from that trailer and go do other stuff, right? You can haul a box, you can haul a log trailer, you can haul a flatbed. All right, so if you got a dump trailer, there's other things that you can go and do. And let me share this with you. Some of these guys that I know that are successful, do end up having to go do other stuff, right? All right, because if sand and gravel gets slow, they bag up on the log trailers. We stay in an area where logging is big and major. Some of them go do a flatbed or just whatever, and then they go back on that sand and gravel when things start getting wide open, okay? All right, and then so obviously if the work is there, a trailer has great money making potential, right? I mean, if the rate is right and people are paying what they should, I mean, a trailer, there's no reason a trailer shouldn't make these days, right? $1,200, $1,300 a day if the rate is right, right? So notice I said potential. I'm not telling you that your dump trailer will make that, but it has the potential to make that if the rate is right and if the job is right. So some other factors have to come into play. All right. So what are some cons about the dump trailer, right? Well, in construction, there are some spaces dump trailers can't get into, right? They can't get into, they can't jackknife it, they can't twist it, they just can't do it, right? So that's a con of having a dump trailer in construction, okay? All right. Obviously, from experience, I can tell you it costs more money to run that dump trailer than it did for me to run a dump truck, right? So it cost me more to run that Peterbilt and that mate trailer, okay? All right, and then just overall other expenses, because guess what? Now I'm insuring two pieces of equipment as opposed to one piece of equipment, right? Think about that, right? You got to insure the truck and you got to insure the trailer. You got to put a tag on the truck. You got to put a tag on the trailer. You got to pay road tax, all of that stuff, right? You got to factor all that in. So the expenses on a dump trailer are more than a triaxle dump truck as well, or a dump truck, right? Let me not just confine it to a triaxle, right? So those are some cons of having a dump trailer. I've given you the pros of the dump trailer. Now, let's look at that versus the dump truck in the same way, right? All right, dump truck. Obviously, you know by now, if you've been listening to this channel for any length of time, that I'm a triaxle guy, right? That's what I started with. That's what I love. And I just think it's the best thing since sliced bread, right? All right, before I go any further, this video has been valuable to you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, share this video with someone, right? One of the pros of that triaxle dump truck that I love so dearly. All right, well, good payload. All right, whereas that trailer does get 29, 30 tons, triaxle gets 20 tons, 21, depending on your empty weight, 19 if you're a little heavy, right? So you got a good payload, right? Good money-making potential, right? Just like that trailer, right? And because we're so integral in getting jobs done on construction and off-road major construction jobs, they're going to pay us, right? We are the top dogs when it comes to what's wanted in construction, right? All right, so the money-making potential is there. We are in demand. Let me say it that way. Triaxle dump trucks are in demand, okay? All right, we can get into the tough spots, right, that trailer can't get into. All right, it's a straight truck. We can bag that thing down. We can do what we need to do to maneuver and get in those tough spots that trailer can't get into. All right, and then finally, the expenses are manageable, right? Not as high as a dump trailer. You're not going to burn as much fuel. You only have to pay for one license tag. You're only paying insurance on one piece of equipment, right? All right, so manageable expenses. Those are the pros of the dump truck as opposed to the dump trailer, right? And so obviously the cons would be that it's all in one unit, right? Straight truck is all one unit. All right, now don't get me wrong. I mentioned earlier that the guys with the trailers can unhook from the trailer and go do something else. Let me share this with you. There was a guy when I first started in dump truck business, because sugarcane is such a big thing down here too. There was the guy that actually, and it, so I don't want you to think this is a whole con. It's a 50% con, right? That it's all in one unit and that's all you can do with the dump truck, right? But let me share this with you. There was this guy that would haul with us during peak dump truck season. And then when sugarcane season would take place, he had his own setup at his house, or he had a friend, a buddy, or something. We used to call him Kool-Aid. That was his CB handle. He would literally take his dump body off in sugarcane season, set it up at his house, put a fifth wheel on his dump truck, and pull sugarcane for 3 months. Now let that sink in. So while you have that bed on your truck, if you got the tools or a buddy or the know-how, you can take that bed off that truck, put a fifth wheel on and go do something else. It might require you 2 or 3 days of work, but it can be done. I don't want you to think it can't be done, right? I seen a guy do it, okay? So I call that a 50% con, that it's all in one unit and maybe you can't do a lot of stuff. Yeah, you can do other stuff if you're willing to go ahead and then take that bed off, right? All right, so as I get ready to leave you this day, I just want to tell you, hey, it's your choice. It's your preference. Whatever floats your boat, whatever's conducive for you in your particular context, right? Remember, I always like to tell you, I'm just telling you some things that are working general everywhere, but always you got to be able to view it through the lens of what seems to be the thing in your particular context. I'm giving you the game. You apply the game to how it would work in your particular area, right? Here, triaxle dump trucks have their place. Trailers have their place, right? Trailers are not so much on the construction scene as they are sand and gravel. Most of the trailers in this area, sand and gravel, asphalt, things of that nature. But when it comes to hauling that dirt in and out on jobs, limestone, twisting and turning, doing the meat and potatoes of road construction, things like that, dump truck is what's in demand. All right. All right. So if this video has been valuable for you, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, support the channel if you can. Grind and Shine t-shirts are on there if you feel like that's something that you want to do. We greatly appreciate it. Right. All right. So in parting, I always like to say, if you want to shine, you got to grind. Country CEO, I'm gone.